Hello everyone, this is Miss Ava Hart, and today is Monday, November 30th, 2020, and it is 4:08 p.m. This is assignment number 2. Assignment number 2 Assignment number 2 is a summary for the poem For My People by Margaret Walker. You can find this poem on pages 314 and 315 of your textbook. You should have already watched the video of me reading the poem For My People by Margaret Walker. So you're going to write a summary of the poem For My People by Margaret Walker. A summary is just briefly telling the reader or a person what a particular poem or story or article was about. Okay, so remember I told you literary devices are like seasoning for a writer. Just like when you're cooking. In order for your food to have flavor and for it to taste good, you add different seasonings. Well, the same for writing. The same goes for writing. In order for a writer to add flavor or to make their writing interesting, they use literary devices. So Margaret Walker, she used 4 literary devices, but I'm only focusing on 2 of them for this particular assignment. One of them was alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of initial consonant sounds. Basically, alliteration is where the same consonant sound is repeated at the beginning of each word. So here's an example. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. So the consonant sound S is repeated at the beginning of every word. Repetition. Margaret Walker used repetition in her poem For My People for it to, she used repetition to add more flavor, to make the poem more exciting and more engaging for the reader. Repetition is the use of any element of language, a sound, a word, a phrase, a clause, or a sentence more than once. So here's an example. Nori was a Catholic because her mother was a Catholic. And Nori's mother was a Catholic because her father was a Catholic. And her father was a Catholic because his mother was a Catholic or had been. This comes from Nicholson Baker, The Everlasting Story of Nori. So what's being repeated is the word Catholic. All right, so I've given you these definitions and examples because you're going to need this when it's time to do the summary. So here is the paragraph. I've written the paragraph for you, or I've given you sentence stems, or I've given you sentence starters. So a lot of this paragraph is already written for you. A lot of this summary is already written for you. You just have to fill in the blanks. So, For My People by Margaret Walker is about. In this blank right here, just tell me what you think the poem For My People is about. That's what you write that's how you complete the first sentence. The second sentence. I know this to be true. I know this to be true because in line, so you're going to go to the poem and write the line number of the sentence that you're going to use to prove that this is what this poem was about. Because remember, it's textual evidence, people. You're not going to get away from textual evidence. That is a skill that you must master before you go to 10th grade. If whatever you put for sentence 1, whatever you say that this poem is about, you're going to have to prove it in the second sentence. So you're going to have to write the line number. You're going to have to type the line number right here. And then you're going to have to go to the poem and write word for word the line that proves that this is what this poem is about. That's sentence 2. All right, sentence 3. Margaret Walker used the literary device blank to write this poem. Pick one. You can either choose alliteration or repetition. You just pick one. If you choose alliteration, then that's what you're going to write. That's what you're going to type right here, alliteration. If you choose repetition, that's what you're going to type right here, repetition. You choose one of the two, alliteration or repetition. So Margaret Walker used the literary device blank to write this poem. You choose one of the two. You're either going to choose alliteration or you're going to choose repetition. And then you're going to find an example of that literary device from the poem and type it right here. That's sentence number 4. So sentence number 4, an example of this from her poem is, so you're going to find whatever literary device that you put right here. If you put alliteration, then you're going to have to go to the poem and find an example of alliteration and type it right here. If you put repetition right here, you're going to have to go to the poem and find an example of repetition, type it word for word and put it right here. And then there's a concluding sentence. This says that you're done summarizing this poem. And all you do is just, in this blank right here, all you do is type what you put in this blank right here. So whatever you put in this blank right here is what you put in this blank down here for your final sentence for this summary. You're summarizing this poem in one paragraph. So the first sentence, the first blank, I just need you to finish this sentence and tell me what the poem is about. The second sentence, you have to go to the poem and prove to me that this is what the poem was about. Find a line from the poem and type it right here that proves that this is what the poem was about. This right here needs to support this. And make sure you tell me the line number right here. Type it right here. All right, the third sentence. Tell me what literary device that Margaret Walker used to write this poem. You are going to choose between repetition or alliteration. Then, after you tell me what literary device she used, I need you to find an example of that in the poem and type it right here. That's the fourth sentence. And then the final sentence, which is your concluding sentence, you're telling me that you're done summarizing this poem, you're done telling me what this poem was about and giving me proof. All you're going to do, this blank right here should be this, whatever you typed right here should be the same right here. So whatever you put in the blank right here, you should put that exact same thing right here. Because a concluding sentence is just you're repeating your topic sentence. And this right here is your topic sentence. It's the first sentence in the paragraph and it's telling me what the paragraph is about. So whatever you typed right here should go right here. All right, I have just explained to you how to complete the written summary for the poem For My People by Margaret Walker. I will talk to you on the next video.